This video is about the differences between discourse and linguistics. Let's start. Difference between discourse studies and linguistics. How do discourse studies and linguistics differ from each other? If we talk about from a focus point of view, the focus of discourse studies is to see how language is used in a real context to construct meanings, relationships, and social realities. So the focus of discourse studies is on meaning, relationships, and social realities, whereas the focus of linguistics is on the structure, rules, and systems of language. If we talk about from scope point of view, the scope of discourse studies is to use language in conversations, speeches, media, politics, digital communication, and so on. Whereas scope of linguistics is to study the components of language. For example, how the language is composed of. For example, sounds, phonetics, grammar, how the words are structured, word meanings, semantics, also known as semantics, and etymology of history, how the language has evolved, how the words have evolved. If we talk about analysis point of view, discourse studies takes larger chunks of language, for example, sentences, paragraphs, and whole conversations or different texts, whereas linguistics analyzes smaller units like sounds, words, phrases, and sentences, so on. From question point of view, discourse studies focuses on how people use language to influence, persuade, or connect. What role does culture and power play in language use? So the question is focused on language use, whereas the question in linguistics is what are the rules of grammar? How are the sounds produced? How does meaning change over time? If we talk about methodological point of view, methods, discourse studies analyzes discourse, conversation, and critically evaluate the discourse, and ethnography, whereas the method used in linguistics are phonological analysis, syntactic analysis, corpus linguistics, or psycholinguistics. If we talk about example, discourse studies focuses on studying how politicians frame issues in speeches. This is example. Whereas if we talk about linguistics, it studies how verb tenses work in English. So structure. If we talk about from purpose point of view, the purpose of discourse studies is to understand communication as a social, cultural, and contextual process, whereas the purpose of linguistics is to understand language as a system of signs and rules. What are the rules and how the signs are joined or combined to make different or create different checks. If I could explain it further or make it easy, if you think language is a car, linguistics studies the engine, how the engine is composed, what structure of wheels, and what are the mechanics that helps to run the car, how it's built and work internally. This is a scope of linguistics. And if we talk about discourse studies focuses on how, where, and why people drive the car. Different roads, cultures, and purposes. So internal structure of language is this part of linguistics, and application or use of language is focus of discourse studies. In short, if I could sum up the difference between linguistics and discourse studies, linguistics is the science of language structure, how the language is structured, whereas discourse studies is a science of language and action. I hope that you have understood it. If you have any questions, please write in the comment box. If you are new on the channel, please subscribe it. If you find something useful, please like the video and share it. Thank you. Take care.